This is the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with your host, Vicki Davis.
Today's sponsor is Microsoft Education. Stay tuned at the show's end to learn more about their artificial intelligence course for educators. So this is Vicki Davis with a 10-Minute Teacher. This is another ISTE special with Lydia Smyers, who is a Vice President of Microsoft Education. Thanks for sitting down with me today.
Oh, Vicki, I'm so thrilled to be here.
So I just live blogged the Mini-Keynote with a lot of really cool announcements, and all that's on my blog. But what I really wanted to talk about is so many teachers I know are out there who follow everything I've been talking about with AI. And their districts are saying, block it, can't use it, block it, can't use it. Well, first of all, we know we can't really block it. But there are some safe, effective ways that some school districts are using artificial intelligence. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're working with and what you're seeing? And I know the New York City schools talked about some of their deployments.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Vicki. And I'll tell you, what's really incredible about this moment that we're in, technology, is just the positive impact it is bringing to all industries, including and especially education. So OpenAI, the founder and CEO, a gentleman by the name of Sam Altman, he says that education is the industry that fastest goes through the adoption curve of this new technology, from amazement to fear to witnessing the power of the potential. And so we're seeing lots of districts get to that point of beginning to see just the incredible impact it can bring. So you heard New York City Public Schools, they've introduced this, first of all, for parents and students to help them navigate their website. So a quick bot that just searches their internal sites. And then on the request of teachers, they brought it to a pilot in just a couple classrooms where students start to see how it could help them with some tutor assistant types of things. So just the beginnings of new ideas and trialing and learning is what we're seeing districts just do incredible things with early on.
And there's some real world stats. The speaker said that their call volume had declined 33% when they implemented the chatbot that could answer the questions and help. That's incredible because that's less frustrated parents and students. It saves money because you don't have to have people to take those calls, and it's just done with a chatbot. Like, that's amazing.
It is amazing. And what is piling on to the amazement, not only did it save 30% in call volume, but also they had been working on implementing a solution like this for like months, quarters, even potentially years. They got a pilot up and running within a few weeks. Wow. So we're seeing a real agility to have some fast trials to just see the potential that it can bring to any scenario. And what we've seen is schools start sometimes with administrative functions first, like a chatbot to search a portal, or like the support of the development of a lesson plan. Folks are even using Bing Chat to actually support lesson and curriculum development and assuring that it's ISTE standards aligned.
Yeah.
So the opportunity is pretty vast.
So teachers who are listening are saying, if I could just get my administrators and my principals to even talk about using AI in our district. So you talk at the high level with superintendents and principals around the country. What has principals and superintendents excited, and what are some resources that teachers can point their administrators to so that they can know that there are opportunities and they don't have to be scared of it?
Well, there's so much to be excited about, but really the leadership, they understand the journey of the teacher. And they're super excited about how these technologies can help save teachers time and help transform classrooms. And so we're seeing a lot of excitement at the superintendent and cabinet level around just beginning that journey. I would encourage folks to certainly search the ISTE website for lots of the great content that's getting published this week. Also, to go to Microsoft.com/education, where we have updated all of the latest information. But we also have launched, just for ISTE, a new course for educators, aka.ms/AIforEducators, that helps teachers learn and think about how to bring AI to their classroom, think about teaching AI, and just some of the foundational principles.
So we would be remiss, since you're talking about education, if we didn't say that not all AI is the same, and there need to be effective, safe principles put in place for your use of AI. So how do you suggest that districts start on their journey to put those principles in place? Because, safety, monitoring, a lot of these things have to be trained, which means they need good feedback. How do you help districts with that?
Well, creating a committee is just one of the most essential first steps. And that committee figures out governance. They identify a foundation of principles upon which they'll make decisions on AI investments. And that really serves as a framework for everything that folks want to do. Microsoft actually had an event just last week where we announced our recommendations for policy initiatives. And we offered tools to districts to how they begin to formulate their own governance councils to adopt AI into their organizations. So you can certainly find that off of our website. But Microsoft's principles are fairness, inclusivity, transparency, trust, privacy, and reliability. But every district will make their own and reflect on what's important, what's needed, what are the most pressing use cases. Because finding those use cases is the first step. Once you think, okay, wow, generative AI can really change so many things, then you get that governance committee together. First, you ideate and whiteboard all the potential use cases you have. And then you pull out your rubric and you think about prioritizing them. And then you just begin with trial and error and get right into some of them in a safe and secure space. Microsoft provides those kinds of environments and tools for you. And then you're off on your learning journey.
So you have a line you say about Microsoft Copilot, which is something you're testing privately. But I actually really like this because I write a lot about artificial intelligence and human intelligence as I continue the 80 days of AI and HI. Can you tell me the line you say? This is Copilot, not
autopilot. We think of Copilots as helping to automate complex tasks for humans, but our Copilots put the human at the center. Right. And they really help human agency. They're not autopilots. Right. They're not replacing humans. In fact, our Copilots, they really just lower the barrier between humans and computers. They allow a more natural interface, a more natural language between humans and computers so that technology can empower more people.
So what is your message to teachers right now around the world who, we've come through a really stressful season. This year wasn't really that much easier with our substitute teacher issue. A lot of us lost a lot of our planning periods and had a tiring year. So what's your message to educators around the world that you'd like them to hear from you?
Well, first of all, recharge. Find your time, your way, what matters to you, to assure you're putting yourself first so that you can care for others. Because when you do, it's so important, and we're so grateful for all that you do. That's first and foremost. But secondly, hopefully maybe in some of that recharge time, you find time to be curious. There are a lot of great resources out there. We'd encourage you to go to Microsoft.com/education, but there's many more where you can learn about initial ways to bring AI into the classroom. And then thirdly, after that big curiosity, bring it back, share it, ask for that governance council, introduce it to your peers, because people are looking to learn right now. And that growth mindset that we talk about in education, is as important today as it ever has been.
And ignorance about AI will bring a catastrophe. It just will. I mean, that's the truth. But if we use it effectively, one of the speakers said today, saving 15 minutes or a day or an hour a week really adds up for us teachers. And that's what a lot of the AI tools that you talked about, whether it was the Kahoot integration or the PowerSchool integration or examples of what New York City schools are doing, are just really great examples of saving time for us teachers. And I think the other thing you said that's so important is it's not autopilot, it's a copilot. Everything we use needs to follow that principle because we as teachers are still at the center and still having to drive that learning in our classroom.
Well, you know so well, we like to say that 4 minutes is 10% of learning, right? In a 40-minute classroom. So where we can save teachers time, that allows more emphasis being put on that most important thing, which is engagement with the student.
Thank you, Lydia, for coming on the show.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Vicki.
Yeah. Microsoft has an amazing artificial intelligence course for educators that will help you and your education team have the knowledge you need to understand the best practices for artificial intelligence in schools. AI is changing rapidly, and you'll want your team to take advantage of this free course from Microsoft today. Go to aka.ms/AI for educators now. That's aka.ms/AIFOR educators. Sign up for this free course today so that you're ready to understand and use AI in your school in ways that are safe and work for schools. I highly recommend this free AI course from Microsoft. So sign up today.
You've been listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. If you like this program, you can find more at coolcatteacher.com. If you wish to see more content by Vicki Davis, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter under Cool Cat Teacher. Thank you for listening.